Hello everyone, welcome to another Fight of the Night review. It's been a while, hasn't it? That's because the past few weeks, almost the past month I would say, there just simply wasn't any Fight of the Nights to review, so I just didn't do them. But now we got one. It's the prelim fight. It took place at TD Garden, Boston, Massachusetts, and it was the opening of the prelims between Cody Gibson and Brad Katona to determine the winner of the bantamweight brackets of this year's Ultimate Fighter season, which I didn't watch because I just couldn't have given less of a toss if I tried, and I don't know, maybe next year's will probably be a bit more entertaining. I just couldn't be asked with this one, but yeah, we got all three rounds to go through, so let's go through them. We begin with round one. Cody starts well with a solid left, throws a teep as well, ducks a hook from Brad and goes for a clinch. Cody puts his hands together quite well in that clinch. Brad uses some head movement to evade it and he lands a jab of his own. They obviously break from the clinch by that point. Brad lands a leg kick and a really nice right hook, also a glancing left, and he starts to put his stuff together a bit more as well. But Cody lands a body kick and Brad lands a really nice leg kick. Cody lands some good punches and a right kick to the body. Cody lands a really sharp right hook, goes for another combo and slips a little bit. Brad lands some punches, but Cody backs him up against the cage. Brad lands a really nice left hand and a right to the body. He also lands some uppercuts up close, but Cody keeps out of the range eventually. He starts to block some punches and even lands a really nice left. Brad lands another leg kick. Cody starts to land more uppercuts and keeping the pressure on Brad as he has been throughout most of the show, I forgot to mention earlier. Cody controls the hands well and keeps using his defense nicely too. Eventually getting another clinch. Brad lands a left to the body and even some nice clinch shots and a leg kick to close off the first round. So, round one, much like the rest of the fight, as you're about to find out, was very, very close. I'm giving round one narrowly to Cody because he started to put his stuff together a bit more and definitely had the bigger moment with his shots. He did land a few more tricks than Brad did in round one, but it was still fairly close. And Brad was like, he was staying in that range, but he was backing up. And even though he's in great shape as always, having to back up that much against someone who's taller and bigger than you in that weight division kind of been good for Brad. And he did keep backing up, and Cody did land quite nicely when he could. I think that was a takedown attempt from Cody, but it didn't really take. I think that this entire fight was done standing up as well. I thought I'd throw that there really quick as a go-ahead spoiler. But yeah, give round one to Cody. It's very, very close though. I think Brad could have done enough to win the round in some people's eyes. I think he might have, but I'm just giving round one to Cody anyway because I personally think that he did do just enough to win the round. Just enough though, not like a clear slate. We then get to round two, and Brad lands a leg kick early, following up with some really good hands. And also, the commentary did say about Cody's right hand, he was trying to favour it when he went back to his seat, but he appeared to be kind of fine. Brad does land more punches, and Cody does land a good shot. Brad goes for a clinch, but Cody shows him off. Cody lands another right, pushing Brad to the cage and using his range to land jabs on Brad. Brad lands a solid left and blocks more of Cody's punches. Brad lands some more stuff of his own. Cody lands to the head and another really nice shot to the body too. Brad lands a clean left of his own, but Cody keeps going to the body, goes for a clinch. Brad lands some knees from that clinch and some uppercuts before they break away. Cody keeps pushing forward, eating another right from Brad, who lands some huge hooks and starts putting his stuff together a lot better by this point. I think it's around about halfway through the round and halfway through the fight as well. Cody lands a really nice leg kick though, which sort of wobbles Brad, but Brad bounces back with some more punches, even blocking and countering quite well too. He lands a high kick and keeps dipping in and out. Cody lands another leg kick, but Brad lands a great combo in the clinch. They do push off, but Cody gets another clinch and lands some elbows and a nice left hand. Brad lands an uppercut, eventually landing a 1-2 combo that wobbles Cody big time. Brad goes for a flying knee in the clinch. Cody lands a left, but Brad lands one back and keeps landing to the body too, even landing some rights up top to keep Cody off of him as we close out round two. And giving round two to Brad, he was definitely starting to put his stuff together a bit better, especially defensively. Like, he was mostly offense in round one, even though he was being backed up for the most part. I think that was starting to fail him, and he was blocking a little bit, but in round two, he's blocking more, he's evading more. He's still eating his fair few shots, I think mostly because he's got the shorter range. But yeah, Cody wasn't able to land as much, and Brad started to land the bigger power shots in round two as well, which I think started to sway the judges. And like by this point in round two as well, or by this point of the fight, well, specifically in round two, Cody did have about twice as many strikes as Brad did, but I think Brad did do enough to maybe win the round with his big shots around the halfway point, especially with like the 2 minutes left in it. But yeah, I give round two to Brad, but again, very, very close rounds, but slightly more in favour of Brad than round one was for Cody for me. We then get to the third and final round, and both men throw some leg kicks, but Brad did sort of complain about his knee in the corner. I don't know, I kind of skipped it, but commentary did point out that he was complaining about his knee in the corner. Didn't stop him from landing a flying knee at some point in round 3. However, that's for a bit later on. For now, the two stay in the pocket, both landing some really good punches, with Brad starting to land better from the outside and even better from the exchanges in general. By this point, he just looks fresher going into round 3. Cody lands some good headshots, but Brad lands some nasty body hits, even faking out a flying knee of all sorts to land a punch and close in on the clinch. See, that's the knee I was on about, I was alluding to. Cody lands a big right, then another, but Brad blasts back with some really nice punches of his own, putting his boxing together quite well to clinch, but then break, with Brad landing a body kick and then a head kick. Cody lands an uppercut, then another big right hook. Brad lands a hook from the outside, but Cody puts together on his combo and rocks Brad with another solid right. Brad lands another high kick, Cody lands a knee from the clinch, Brad lands another right and moves out of Cody's range to counter with some really nice punches. He lands a solid uppercut and damages Cody's eye, stunning him against the cage and landing more punches early for Cody's to counter and escape. Now, I did at first think that Brad had poked Cody in the eye. However, it's just a really good punch that really badly damages his eye. And considering that Brad was suffering some swelling of his own, and Cody was suffering some swelling on his right eye, yeah, it sort of makes sense. Anyway, the two slug and clinch up again. Brad lands some really solid uppercuts from inside the clinch. Cody goes for a takedown, but Brad counters into the clinch again. He holds it and lands some knees and an uppercut, and Cody lands some punches of his own to close out the round and close out the fight. So, we gotta talk about it. This is a fight that I wasn't super interested in at first, if I'm being honest with you, but like most fights where that happens with me, it just built and built and kept getting better and better. The crowd reaction got better and better as well. They were reacting to like the shots that landed audibly, sure, but like right when Brad started landing the much bigger shit in round 2, and especially in round 3 as well, when they both started going for it a bit more, the crowd fed into it, and it really helped with my enjoyment of the fight. It very well could be a top 10 contender, though. I'm giving round 3 to Brad as well, obviously. And he did win the fight by unanimous decision. I do think Cody did maybe enough to round 1, but I've got no problem with it being unanimous decision, especially considering that the numbers for it were close anyway. Yeah, this is just a very fun and very entertaining fight. I think that's the thing I liked the most about it. It was just very entertaining. There, wasn't really a lot of bad blood between the two. There wasn't really a lot of shit talking. It was just really, really, really good fighting between two comeback fighters, because it was like, obviously the theme for the Ultimate Fighter was like prospects versus veterans, and I think almost all veterans made it to the finale. No complaints about the winner either. Brad winning a second season in the Ultimate Fighter is really cool, and hopefully actually does something with his run in the UFC this time, because last time it didn't go too well for him. So I do like the guy, so I hope he's able to put together his shit a bit more. Shows he's improved as a fighter though, considering that he won a very tough fight, very uphill battle, considering that he was the shorter guy. Yeah, no, absolutely did some really good work, and props to Cody as well for standing in there for as long as he did and pushing Brad to his paces, I would say. Yeah, no, there's a very good chance this could be on the top 10. I really enjoyed this fight. Go and watch it for yourself. It was a lot of fun. As for what's next from me, well, tonight I'll be putting up the Go Home Show parts for PBW vs AVW that happened on Friday, because the Violent Elite tournament starts on Tuesday night. So that's going to be so much fun. I need to put the matches together with my council. But that is for then. I might do another reaction video tomorrow. My hand's almost at the table. The reaction video, I'm not really sure it'll either be Magnolia Park or the new Downswing single or the new Beartooth single. I have options is all I'm saying. But yeah, whatever I wind up doing next, I'll probably see it tomorrow or Tuesday. You'll see me definitely within the week though, because 4-day tournaments in Tokyo, Japan, it's gonna be mental. So I'll see you all for whatever the fuck I wind up doing next. As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye bye.